The Gaffney, South Carolina UFO incident of 1966 is one of the most well-documented cases in UFO history, involving 2 police officers and multiple witnesses. The police officers went on to report that they encountered a flying saucer that landed and an unknown being exited the craft and spoke to them. What really happened on that strange night in South Carolina? On the night of November 16th in 1966, an intense meteor shower was visible across most of the United States. The next evening, 2 girls in Quarryville, Pennsylvania reported seeing a strange, low-level white and green object in the sky. A similar object occurred in Michigan on the 19th, along with major power failures across the state at the same time of the sightings. It made many question if more than a meteor shower had passed by the Earth that week. A more detailed incident occurred on November 17th at 4 a.m. in Gaffney, South Carolina, a small town of about 12,000 people that is known as the Peach Capital of South Carolina. 2 police officers, patrolmen A.G. Husky and Charles Hutchins, were out on patrol that morning when the officers saw a dark, spherical object with a flat rim land in front of their patrol car. There were no lights or windows on it. The object hovered about 20 feet above the ground in front of them. The unknown object appeared to be a dull gold color in the headlights of the police car, and it seemed to be over 22 feet in diameter. It was not like anything the police officers had ever seen or encountered before. The 2 men stared in disbelief when a ladder dropped down from a small doorway underneath the mysterious object. A small man dressed in a shiny gold suit emerged and descended the ladder. The strange man walked slowly and deliberately towards the officers. He didn't appear scared or like he was in a hurry. His gold suit had no buttons or zippers on it. It looked almost like a costume made from a shiny metal that reflected the headlights of the patrol car. The small man was about 4 feet tall and appeared to have the body of a 12-year-old boy. He looked more human than alien, but there was something off about him that made the officers know that what they were witnessing was not from this earth. The strange man began talking to the officers as he approached them. He spoke perfect English and didn't have an accent. He knew exactly what he was saying. He spoke slow and precise, making sure to pronounce everything he was saying correctly. The man didn't make any quick or false moves. He just stood there and asked the cops a lot of questions. The moment was so surreal that later the 2 officers couldn't recount the entire conversation that they had with the man. He wanted to know why both officers were dressed alike. They asked where the man was from, but he only laughed at them. The meeting was brief. The whole encounter seemed like it only lasted 2 or 3 minutes. Then the strange man announced, "I will return in 2 days," before slowly walking back to the ladder and climbing into the craft. The ladder folded back up, and the door silently closed behind him. The unknown object took off while making a low, humming sound and disappeared into the night sky. A local councilman found numerous footprints at the site where the little man had stood. However, there were no reports of a return visit by the strange man or his mysterious craft to the little town in South Carolina. What happened to the Gaffney visitor? The officers were reluctant to tell their story publicly. They did not want publicity or to face public scrutiny over the incident. Hutchins had only been on the force for 6 months, and Husky had been there for 5 years. Hutchins eventually told journalist John Keel the officer's version of the story. Many media outlets had exaggerated their story after reading the officer's initial report on their encounter. Hutchins said the man was more human-like and ordinary, not some green alien that many of the newspapers had made him out to be. The encounter received significant attention from the media and was investigated by both local and federal authorities. Some experts and skeptics suggested possible natural explanations, such as secret military aircraft, atmospheric phenomena, swamp gas, the usual stuff, but no definite conclusion was ever made. The Gaffney, South Carolina incident remains one of the most notable UFO cases given the involvement of the police in their detailed report of the encounter. What do you think happened that night? Was it a genuine extraterrestrial encounter, or is there a more down-to-earth explanation? Let me know in the comments below. I love this case. I think of it every time I drive past Gaffney, South Carolina. You can see this giant peach on the side of the highway, and it makes me think of the first time I heard of this when I watched Beyond Creepy's video on it years ago. I'm so glad I finally got to cover it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. It really helps me out a lot. But if you want to learn more, check out his video. It's great. I loved it. And like I said, I always think of it when I'm in the area. And as always, stay strange.